everyone, welcome to this short video about being social, providing good service on your Facebook online selling group. First thing I want to teach you a little bit about is building the community. So your online selling group is going to be a little community. You'll get to know your members in there, and likewise they will get to know you. If you followed your online daily strategy, you will already have added quite a few friends, your Facebook friends, to the group. But a key thing is that you continue to ask people to join and add friends in your group. So if somebody contacts you through advertising products in a selling group, you want to invite them to come over and join your group. Repeat business is the first reason for that, but also it helps let them get to know you a little bit, builds that rapport and trust as someone they will regularly buy from. Using the daily strategy again, you'll have a post in your group that says about adding friends. The more people that come into your group, obviously the better opportunity that you have in your hand. You are building a little community in there. You need to interact with your group on a daily basis. That's really key. And make it, but make part of it fun. You want to have some competitions in there. You're going to have some brain teasers, some puzzles, a little bit of get your customers interacting with you, understand a little bit about what they're looking for in order to bring them back to your site. I would always recommend that you should serve and don't sell. So give good service, make sure you respond to requests promptly, but don't be pushing yourself on to sell them things that they're not necessarily looking for. You can recommend, you can suggest things, but obviously we're not looking to be hard on selling to them. But what we do want to do is make sure the service is good, because that's what will differentiate you from other people who may be selling on the Facebook selling sites. So go the extra mile. Offer the free delivery in your local area. Maybe if they're further afield but don't drive, you might offer to deliver the products to them for a small contribution for fuel. We obviously have the option to send products directly to customers. So again, go the extra mile, be helpful, and make sure you try and accommodate the needs that they might have. But market your products to your customers daily. It's important that you keep in contact with everybody that buys from you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some of the tools that we already have in place to make sure that you do that. And we're going to touch on a little bit about Facebook reach, because good reach is posting 3 times a day, every day. And the key there, as you'll see, is every day in itself. So you're going to pick up different traffic at different times of the day. Facebook is a massive environment. People have very different social habits. So you will always find whatever your pockets of time are, they will fit into Facebook one way or another. So you've got to interact with your group, and this is a lot about being social in your group. It lets people get to know you. It's where you would react and respond with them as if you were just chatting with your friends, because you want to let them see a bit of who you are, because that's then reciprocated. So pictures always paint 1,000 words, and it does make your group a little bit more fun and a little bit more colourful. So, have some posts in there about adding people. I regularly put in my group that says, love you guys to help me out. Perhaps you could add some of your Facebook friends. Thanks for joining my group. Why not come along and add some of your friends as well and let them see the fantastic offers and products we have. When people do go that extra mile for you and help you out by adding some of their Facebook friends, make sure you put a thank you in it and tag the person that's added, just to say, so thank you very much, John Smith, for adding your Facebook friends. Really appreciate your help and support. And again, recognise people on an ongoing basis. People love a little bit of recognition. And what you'll tend to find is when you say a thank you to somebody or recognise them for something they've done, other people see it, and suddenly you'll start to see there's a little bit more people get involved. They think, oh, that's quite nice. My name comes up with a big thank you message. I'm going to go and see what I can do to help out as well. So again, it creates that domino effect with people coming into your group and increasing the size of the membership in your group. You need to be interacting with your group, and this is something that you should do. I would recommend the daily strategy. We recommend that you do probably 2 to 3 of these a week. Again, it depends on the success of it. If you're getting a good response, you can leave it up there for a couple of days, take it down, maybe wait another day and pop another one in there. But obviously, if you put one in, and you will find some that you put it in and it just doesn't fit the group that you've got, and you might find very little interaction. If that happens, I would recommend that you remove that, leave a day, and then perhaps put something else up to look and get that interaction. You can also ask people that are maybe your own personal friends rather than acquaintances from your Facebook list. Ask them to help you out. Ask them, drop them a little message, ask them to get involved, because once it starts building and you need to be involved as well, you'll find it starts to look after itself. There's lots of interactive posts in the Vista Group photo library. So you can go in there, take some from there. Your sponsor will help and guide you on where to find others. And Google Images always has quite a lot in there. But again, just make sure you crop and edit the pictures a little bit before you use them if you're taking them from an external source, so that they're unique to you. As I mentioned, you're going to serve and not sell. Involve your customers. This was a hugely successful campaign within my own selling group. Involve the customers. And what I'd done is I simply had a little post that said, tell me your favourite. The first 10 to comment the favourite got 10% discount. In that particular instance, I think I, from memory, remember it being about 7 or 8 duvet sets went. And they all got 10% discount. But that's great, because that's maybe £150, £200 worth of sales that actually I didn't have before I'd done this. But what it did help me also do was understand a little bit about my customers. One customer in particular commented on how much she loved butterflies, and as a result of actually hearing that message, I've tagged her on a few things and interacted with her on other butterfly things we've had in our product range, and it's been a repeat business customer, simply because of one interactive post where obviously she shared some information. So it's important to serve them and make sure that it isn't necessarily always about shoving products at them. It's about letting them see what's available to them. Interact to learn more about them. I've given you an example of how that can work in your favour. Also can help you understand a little bit about what might be going on within the group in terms of the demographics. Might be a little bit of a poll that you put in your group that says, help me understand the demographics of my group, so that obviously, I can then serve them better. Tag and ask them for comments and opinions. If you find somebody who likes a particular thing, like the butterfly lady, you can simply tag her in things, ask her for comments and opinions, and that creates a real social environment, because people get to know you and you get to know them. Offer that free local delivery service I mentioned earlier. I think it's really important that you stand out from the crowd. If there are other people selling products from other suppliers on the Facebook groups, which inevitably there will be, you want to offer a service that makes you stand out. They remember you for you, regardless of what the name of your group was. Be willing to make that delivery for the small contribution, and be friendly and offer solutions. If somebody is looking for a king size duvet set and the particular one they like is only available in double, then propose some alternatives. Be friendly, offer solutions, let them see what else you have available, and ask them a little bit about what it is they're looking for, because you may not know necessarily what they're aiming at, but they might tell you a bit more if you interact. Market your products on an ongoing basis. I make it a commitment to, every time a customer buys a product from me, they become part of a mailing list. I always put a catalogue with compliment slip, and the compliment slip you see on the page here is on the Vista Group Resources site. I put a catalogue and a compliment slip in the bag whenever a customer collects from me, or whenever I deliver. If they've had 3 or 4 of the catalogues and we're at a point where we're waiting on new ones, I might run off some internet specials, or I might just identify things that I've picked up on about them from in my group by being social, and I put some stuff in front of them. It's an opportunity to let them know you're giving good service, you know them, you value them, but also an opportunity for you to increase sales. Private message your customers on a 4-weekly basis. If you were in our business as a catalogue distributor, you would be putting product catalogues in front of a customer every 4 weeks. This needn't be any different and shouldn't be. We'd recommend that you private message your customers on a 4-weekly basis, perhaps with a special offer, a reminder that you're placing your next order on Monday, was there anything they needed? And again, a lot of that comes through the daily habits, because if a customer keeps liking certain things, you can perhaps be having a chat with them online about, was it something that's a gift for someone, or is it something they like for themselves? And again, target those people on a 4-weekly basis, remind them that you're there, encourage them to come back and visit the group and add some friends, but also it will give you the opportunity to increase sales. I've mentioned this one already. They create a poll to see what they'd like. Quite often I'd recommend doing there's a function on Facebook where you simply click create a poll right next to where you write your post. And you can put in there, what's your favourite season? Do you want to see Christmas products, winter products, summer? Are we looking at the garden? There's lots of different ways you can target to understand what your customers are interested in buying. And again, the fact that you show to them you listen makes a big impact on them coming back and giving you repeat business. One of the things that's key to Facebook is something called Facebook reach. It's not something necessarily that people need to be hung up about in terms of understanding the technical terms of it. But what I want to do is give you an understanding a little bit about how important consistency is with Facebook. So Facebook reach is simply the number of unique people who see your content. There is a limit to the reach anybody can achieve on social media, and your consistency plays a very, very big part of that. So everything on Facebook boils down to that reach. And I'm going to give you a little example of how that works so that you've got some understanding. But interactive groups and pages will always be seen more. So by doing the daily strategy every day, posting in your group every day, you will find that your group and your reach is much more visible by more people. There's 3 things Facebook measure on, which are educate, entertain, and empower. So when you're doing that social stuff, these are the 3 things to consider. Educating people, so give them some information that's useful, they can use in some way in their life. Entertain, so little funny posts, videos you might share, things like that. And empower them to maybe go and do something, share an experience through a video, and that may empower them to go off and do something that is important to them. But key thing is that maximum reach can be achieved by posting 3 times a day. What I want to just give you an understanding is just want to give you an understanding of how Facebook reach works. If you can imagine with Facebook, when you're posting on a regular basis, this is typically what happens. So each of this, if you can imagine these 4 graphs pinned together as a pipeline, what you can do is imagine that every day that you work on it. So let's look at this as a 28-day period. You can look here by working the daily strategy every day. All the blocks start building. So the blue blocks are building. You can see the reach on this is increasing week in, week out. If you continue to do it, then you will continue to see growth. Ultimately, what you want to do is build the whole pipe right to the top. So let's say that's going to take you 12 weeks. If somewhere along the way you make a break in that, let's say you've gone off and you haven't done something on Facebook for maybe 2 or 3 days, and it is as little as 2 days that makes an impact, it does have a massive impact on how much people see your posting. This graph here just gives you an example, a visual example of how things can change. So over less than a week here, so these pipes are each 1 day, you can see by interrupting posting for simply 1 day, you can see how quickly visually the blue box have started to go backwards. So referring back to obviously the pipeline, if the idea was 12 weeks, build it to full, by missing 1 to 2 days, we've simply taken it right back to about day 4 in that 12-week plan. So the key thing here, guys, is make sure you post consistently every day. It takes you literally no time at all. If you forward plan, I fit mine around family, etc. It's really important that you forward plan and make sure that you don't break the pipe anywhere in the journey. Otherwise, it's starting again. You don't just lose a little bit. It's like going right back to the first week again. So key to make sure that you build consistently. The activity isn't massive. It's a really simple process. We want to make sure you get maximum results. So be active in your own profile is the first thing I would say. Remember the 3 things that I mentioned on the previous slide. So educate, empower, and entertain. So whatever you're doing on your own, see if you can hit all 3 of those criteria. And again, that's going to massively improve your Facebook reach. Make sure you post every day in your selling group. Don't miss it. It literally takes seconds. If you pre-prepare your pictures, even if you're out and about, you can be doing it on a bus from your phone. You can do it in the car as long as you're not the driver. And make sure that you obviously post in there every day. It's important to like, comment, and share, both in selling groups because it builds credibility, and also the admin people are a little bit more tolerant of how much you do in there as well. But also like, comment and share things on your own timeline. What I would say is if you're going to share videos, it's incredibly beneficial if you just put a little comment on it. So if you simply hit the share button, it doesn't have nearly as much impact on your Facebook reach as it would if you just put love this video. So put a wee message in and make sure you're doing the like, comment and share daily. Post 2 to 3 interactive things in your group every week. Again, make sure that you're getting ones that work. If there's anything that's not successful, then you want to remove it and just replace it a day later with something that has a bit more interaction. Reminder again that good reach is to post 3 times every day. So just a quick summary. It's important that you build your group well, you build it fast, but you build it being social. It will automatically mean that you sell well as long as you keep your shelves in the shop stocked. Give good service to stand out from the crowd. Make sure that if you're up against other people selling in the Facebook selling groups, that people remember you because of how good a service, how friendly, how social you are within your group. Make sure you do the competitions and discounts and brain teas. Do you know what? People come back to my group and say, when's the next competition coming? When's the next, brain teaser or puzzle coming? They love the interaction. So it's really important that you keep that up. If you do it in peaks and troughs, you'll find that people lose interest and the interaction is not so good. So sell, share and be warm. Share stuff with them as well. Empower and educate people as well as provide service. Make sure that obviously you're warm and friendly. If you do it day in and day out, that consistency will continue to build the pipeline we talked earlier, and your Facebook reach will get to such a much bigger audience. Really important that you obviously do the social piece. So be social, guys. Have fun. Your group is meant to be fun. And make sure, obviously, you interact with people because they will come back because of you, as well as the great products and service you provide. Thanks for listening.